Bomber TV.
Hi guys, Bomber here. Welcome back to the channel, and before we start, a huge thank you to all of my patrons. If you want to join them, please consider checking out the links down below in the description and the pinned comments down below. So yeah guys, here we are. The deck of today is going to be FIORA SHEN. This is kind of my own version. Some other versions don't run the Nopify. They just go for deny and they cut the Nopify completely, and then I don't remember what they actually... probably they run Citria. I don't run Citria. I think that Screeching Dragon is enough. And then if you want that late game consistency against some type of decks, then you just go for Brazil formation, and that's enough. Citria is really unnecessary. You're kind of generating already enough value, and yeah, you don't really go wide. So I don't understand really Citria being there in some other deck lists. So for new players, or for the deck guide part, what do you want to accomplish with this deck? It is actually pretty simple. I mean, not really, but I will try to make it simple. The first thing that you want to do with this deck is just pure value. Like really, this is the most value-oriented mid-range deck out there. Probably control decks can generate more value than this deck, and that's obvious, they are control decks, but this is mid-range. This can win on turn 6 or 7, which control decks actually can't really do all that much, while still having almost the same value to kind of compete against those control decks, which is crazy. So how do you generate all this value? First of all, with River Shaper. River Shaping constantly drawing new spells, and all the spells that you run can generate even more value to you, Single combat, acting as a removal, and also you can value trade with it. It's basically as a free challenge. Even if you don't have the attack, you can use the single combat when they're trying to remove one of your units. So, you deny kinda their removal, and you still gain value by removing something of their own. It's basically as a magic cylinder in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you remember about that game. Then yeah, you have combat tricks like Sharpsight, allowing you to block some kind of popular units right now, like a Zoe or what that could be. Yeah, basically just Zoe. Yeah, I'm thinking other elusives out there. Yeah, but maybe just Zoe. I mean, the most common one, and which is really important because Zoe is very... Oh, and yeah, of course, the TF feeds elusives, you can block feeds with it, you can block the barbel fish. Yeah, in fact, I thought that I was missing something kind of obvious, and yeah, you can do that with Sharpsight, so very great utility tool. Then you have Deny, of course, very strong if you want to counter stuff like the Ruination or the Harrowing, which are, in some deck lists, or an Atrocity from like the Shadows Islands type of decks, the more control-oriented side of things. With Nobify, instead, you can counter whatever. If you encounter Pirate Aggro, you can counter the Noxian Fervor. If you're encountering the TF Feeds, you can counter Get Excited, Mystic Shot, so definitely a lot of value there. And then yeah, Riposte, Spirit's Refuge, you can get a free trade with it, and with Spirit's Refuge you can also heal, very important against aggro deck lists. Consider Strike, allowing you to activate even more the River Shaper or the FIORA. We'll get to her later on. Yeah, basically you're free. This is a free value generation tool. Not only you're removing for free something, but you also can draw multiple times with it, which is crazy. And so yeah, those are the spells that we are drawing off of, and there is one copy of Relentless Pursuit because sometimes you kinda need that against control decks. They don't expect the Relentless Pursuit, and you can just overwhelm them and win the game off the spot. So yeah, River Shaper is kind of the MVP here in this deck. You want to draw those spells which are kind of the key of this deck. There is also one copy of Running Chevalier for the same reasons as River Shaper. Sometimes you get the River Shaper and you have a lot of spells in your hand, but you don't actually have units to activate them on, like playing a Repulse or a Spirit's Refuge. If you don't have a unit, you can't actually play those cards, So Learn Chevalier is there as just a way to refill for units if you are missing them in some decks, and that's why we are only running it in a one-of, but still kind of strong card. So this is the value-oriented game. Then there is the more FIORA-oriented package. So FIORA, why do we run FIORA? Because again, since this is a mid-range deck, and kinda a board-centric value-oriented mid-range deck, this means that we have a very strong matchup against almost any aggro deck lists. We can, of course, compete against all other mid-range decks. We share the same nature, and we also have a very good matchup against those as well, because since we are very, very value-oriented, probably they will run out of resources before we do. So again, very good matchup against those. The only matchup that we seem to be suffering is the control deck. So how do you beat control? Since they are very slow, by definition, you know, they want to get to the late game and then they will start generating crazy amount of values and you kinda can't win against a control deck until when you reach that stage. So how do you beat that? You beat that with a combo deck. Since they are slow, they don't put pressure on you. This means that you have more turns to build up towards your win condition, your combo, which in this case is the FIORA win condition. FIORA is still kind of weak because, you know, they can Vengeancer, they can do whatever, really, to FIORA. But, you know, you still have that possibility in there. They have, or at least, like, you know, they have to spend resources, removals on the FIORA because they know that they are weak to the FIORA. Meanwhile, you can try to mid-range them, you know, to beat down them and be aggressive while they have to, you know, spend resources and spend time and whatever on the FIORA. They concentrate too much on FIORA so that you can do the other thing and win them by aggressiveness. And so yeah, that's why we run FIORA. Then since you want to go on FIORA and we have all those strike synergies, again, barrier is kinda, you know, a natural fit for those. You know, if you give barrier to River Shaper, this basically means that he can strike for free even if it is blocked. And so yeah, all comes together and then you see that the perfect fit for this is SHEN, so that you can give a barrier to FIORA as well, so that she can make free trades and you know, get it is basically a built-in protection on the deck list that FIORA wants and those other units want, like, you know, the River Shaper and the Ronin Chevalier. And so that's why we also then run Riposte, Spirit's Refuge, Brazil Protector is crazy here. Then you can go a bit more towards the barrier synergy since we have all that much of that. And then you can go for Fleet Feeder Tracker, very good challenger. You start with Fleet Feeder Tracker on turn 1 and then you go on Brazil Protector if you're attacking on turn 2. Removing whatever they have. Green Glade Caretaker can scale quite a bit. This is very valuable on control decks because they have to spend removal on a 1-drop because this scales so much, and yeah, that's crazy. And then again, you have the win condition at the end, which is Brazil Formation. If you need that, if the control deck still didn't run over you, you can probably try to change the tides of the match by, you know, going for the Brazil Formation if you get that. And so yeah, guys, that's it for this deck analysis, and we will see this deck in action into some games. If you like this type of videos, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, sharing this video with your friends and family, and yeah, also joining my Discord server. All that good stuff will be appreciated. Did I say that you should subscribe? Then if you didn't, subscribe already. And so yeah, without further ado, let's jump into some games to see this deck in action. Okay guys, so we're up against a severe Swain deck. I have to be honest with you guys, I don't know what this deck is all about. Like, no clue, really. Okay, so we see FIORA, Fleet Feeder Tracker, Brazil Protector, and Spirit's Refuge. I don't dislike this end. Probably Spirit's Refuge is not that much needed. I don't know if this deck is aggro or not. Really, that's also something to consider. I don't really know what this deck is all about. I think that we have several options with this hand, so it's quite flexible. So I would like to keep that. A second FIORA is also not that bad because we get the Riposte. I have to understand if this is a more control-y deck or what. Sparring Chronomancer. So this lets me think that it is a control deck. If he attacks, we could go for Sharp Sight. That would be interesting. At 1 mana, I could have the Ravenous Flock, but I don't really care about that. Then we can start with FIORA and basically get a free attack in. That seems interesting. Yeah, let's go for that. Maybe this is the wrong play. Like, this is kind of a, you know, not a main line. Not something that you see every day. Okay, so he goes indeed for the Ravenous Flock. I wouldn't have gone for that. By the way, yeah, it's actually interesting to go for the more control-y version to activate the Severe, dealing damage through, you know, the damage removal. So here, going for FIORA was actually not that you know, usual. But since it is a control deck, I want, because, you know, we didn't have protection for her, while we do have protection in hand. Okay, so now if he goes for the attack, we can completely crush him. That could be a really good game. Okay, yeah. He's smart. He should definitely not attack there. And yeah, we go for Brazil Protector. So that he knows that we are going for air. Now he could go for Calling Strike. And we probably FIORA's repost. Or, you know, just repost. Yeah, probably just repost. And then if he goes for something like, I don't know, a Death's Hand? What else could be traded the FIORA with? We don't really want to attack with the Brazil Protector. Maybe he doesn't have anything? Let's see. He doesn't have anything, wow. So yeah, that's a free trade for us. And then we can go for River Shaper instead. So yeah, he seems to be kinda out of answers.
Water changes but never breaks.
Okay, so now we can start generating value of our own. He can't really attack with those because the FIORA is there to meet them.
Observe the price of ambition.
Back Heisen Spinner. I mean, we can still go for the 4 or 5. And we still have mana for our riposte. He probably has some other answers. Maybe just a Death's Hand again is enough because he pops the barrier. But at least we are keeping the FIORA alive. I mean, at least we are trading. At least we're trading the 5-3. And if he doesn't have an answer... Yeah, in fact, Death's Hand was expected. But yeah, again, we are trading it. We are okay with that. And we have a second one. You know. And now we can start generating quite a lot of value. Even though, you know, Preservarium is actually pretty sick. It is just because of Preservarium that he has all that card advantage on us, basically. In fact, if you see, he has 4 cards more, which are Preservarium drone cards. He played 2. So yeah, Preservarium is kinda sick. Another Love Spider. I mean, yeah, we can go for these, which means that we can freely attack with the River Shaper and the Brazil Protector. And we still have protection for those. Let's see if he has a Death's Hand. And then we can go for an Opify. I would like to keep the Spirit's Refuge for later on, if, yeah, we are maybe on, you know, we need some health. So he didn't play any combat trick. Maybe he was waiting for a Ravenous Flock, you know, to get the damage going. Then we will probably have to Nopify that. Yeah, Ravenous Flock, in fact. Maybe he has another one. He's the last one. He doesn't. Let's see. Let's wait. Brazil formation. So we could insta-win the game on the next turn. The Leviathan. Luckily enough, we can consider strike it. And that is awesome. So now, do we want to go for FIORA? Or, you know, getting one more attack on the dragon? If you get one more attack on the dragon, you can't even attack with Swain. And we can kill Swain next turn. I think that is more valuable. I don't think we are winning with FIORA this game. So we have to go like this, right? Yeah, so this becomes a 6-5. He can't have an answer possibly in hand because he's... you know, he's tapped out, and yeah, this is completely game winning. Next turn we also go for Brazil formation. He lost. He basically lost. So as you can see, this is a control deck, and we crushed him. As I said, we can keep up with that amounts of value generation, which is crazy. So now, how can he punish us? He does have a Ravenous Flock, and we know that. So is it good to go for Brazil formation? What are the punishments? I don't think there is any. Like, really. I mean, because he has also to develop another blocker. Or to remove something. Because if he doesn't, we win the game, actually. Yeah, because we have 12, 14 damage going in. Because of the challengers, you know? So he has either to have a blocker or to remove something. And even if he does, again, he has to spend resources to do so. And ooh, Scorched Dirt is actually quite nice. So now the thing is that he can Ravenous Flock to just remove the FIORA. So how do we go about this? Do we challenge the Swain so that at least we are dealing 3 damage to the Swain? Or do we get rid of the blocker?
Let them eat swords.
I don't really know the answer to that.
Steel is yours.
I mean, the Swain kinda has to block on the 9/9. So at least we are trading the Swain by doing so. Yeah, I think that is the strongest play. He could not block on the 9/9, but that is a very bold move from him. So he actually goes for that. And yeah, River Shaper continuing to generate value on us. Maybe add Relentless Pursuit now. Imagine if he draws a Relentless Pursuit. That would be awesome. So he doesn't trade the FIORA, and now the FIORA becomes a 4/2, which is interesting. So he goes to 1. Now Relentless Pursuit. That's a shame. Okay, so now we can remove the FIORA. Yeah, and he goes for that. Unfortunately, we don't have an OP5 yet. Even. Okay, so now we are... look at these guys. This is a control deck. He went for double Preservarium. That's also interesting. They do strike each other though, so at least we're drawing a card. That's nice. Oh, this counts as... yeah, because it is a skill.
What form will the waters take?
OP5.
Waters are still.
Why didn't we draw that before? What was I saying? That yeah, now we are ahead on value actually, but look at the differential in health. He's on the brink of death. And yeah, our opponent surrendered. We are so much ahead. The value this deck can generate is completely insane, really. Well played though. So yeah guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, a comment, and checking out the links in the description and the pinned comment. In there you will find my Instagram, my Twitter, my Patreon, my Discord server, where you can continue to chat with me and all the rest of the community. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked it and find it useful, and as always, see ya.